Oh boy, have I got a treat for you. If you've invited children to your wedding reception, I have got exactly what you need to keep them occupied. I've created the most adorable placemats that you can place at each child's place to keep them occupied. Activities and mazes and games that they can play with those around them. I had a little pot with either color pencils or crayons that I felt couldn't do too much damage if they decided to draw on a tablecloth. It wasn't like a felt tip pen or a marker. These are quiet activities for children to do that will keep them occupied and entertained during the speeches. What I loved most about this was the way their little faces lit up when they saw that their spaces had a specially demarcated place. They were so excited when they saw that they had an activity to do and something that was really engaging, and they were actually absolutely angelic through the speeches because they were well entertained. So let's jump to Canva and I will walk you through this template. I will show you how to personalize it and how to create the ultimate engagement for your little guests. Okay, so let's go and check out this template. You'll find the link for this template in the description below. This will take you through to the Gumroad page. All the information that you need is on here. You purchase this clicking on I want this. You put your details in here and then you go to pay. That will take you through to where you can find the Canva template. And you will also see that we've got details of our Instagram on here. We would love to see some images of your place setting once it's done. And we may even feature some of your pictures on our Instagram and our stories. So clicking on this link will take you through to the Canva template. And here we are with the template exactly as you've seen it before. Now, let me show you what can be customized. So this is good to go if you want to just the bride and groom. If you know who I'm talking about as this bride and groom, make sure you pop me a comment below because then you are my people. So just to give you a brief overview of what we have included in this template, there has been careful consideration put into this template for a variety of activities available for a range of ages and abilities. So that is the beauty of this design. So we have a simple maze, which actually even the older kids like to do. We have a design the arch. So this could just be simply colored by younger children because we've still got a bride and groom, but you've also got the chance to get really advanced with this and really detailed in terms of what they want to include. I've also left lots of space up here so that they can have lots of details hanging down and there's plenty of space for them to design it. We've also got a decorate the wedding cake. Again, could be really simple. And then you could also go into detail with really cute figurines at the top of the cake. And then we've also got some guessing games, which will keep kids really interested in the speeches. They'll be keeping an eye on. Maybe the older kids will want to time it so that they have an extra added dynamic with it, in terms of working a stopwatch. And then they will actually be actively listening to the speeches and paying attention to who's going up next so that they can see if they got this part right, who's going to be crying first at the main table. That's quite a cute little game. And of course, these can be changed to any questions that you want. This is a coloring activity. I've also taken care to use font that is easily legible for children. Some of the fonts, as lovely as they are really tricky for children to read. This will be easily accessible for the vast majority of children. It will be the typeface that they will recognize. The smaller text is for adults. So there are a few small instructions at the bottom here because a lot of these games have gone out of fashion and I don't know why because they are such fun to play. So hopefully it will spark a couple of parents' nostalgia as well. And I think that is the beauty of having squares and boxes and tic-tac-toe or noughts and crosses, which is a really fun old school game, but it leads to that interactivity. So it would mean that either two kids could play together or a child would be able to engage an adult in a game, which just deepens that connection. And it is so often about connection for children. This can be changed if you want to, but just bear in mind what I've said about the legibility. It will be far better for the children to have a font that they recognize. So as much as I'm all for the branding, you also want the kids to be able to recognize the characters of the alphabet. You can also customize the flowers according to your own flowers that you're going to be having. For that, you just go to the elements and you type in whatever flowers you've got, for example, lilies, and let's add line drawings so that they can be colored in as well. You just find one that works for you. This is, of course, if you even want anything in the corners, sometimes it looks too busy. By all means, then take it out. It all depends on the type of style that you are wanting. We have our little groom trying to get to the rings before the ceremony. This can be ungrouped and this can be changed to anything. get the groom to his bride, get the bride to her flowers, whatever it is, it tells a little story. Just remember to change the instructions if you do change the pictures with that one. If you'd rather not have instructions at the bottom here, an alternate would be to delete the text and then insert a QR code. You can go down to apps and search for QR code. Just go for the basic QR code, and then you just copy and paste the address of my YouTube video, which will have the instructions for the squares and boxes. That could be placed right under there to give a quick recap of the rules. So that's totally up to you. Once you have finished and you've customized it to exactly what you would like, go across to share, download, and you are going to download this as a PDF print. The CMYK is best for professional printing, but that is far more for the range of colors. So if you only have a free account, this is absolutely fine. RGB will be absolutely fine. It is a black and white print so that the kids can add the color onto it. Once you've done that, you click download, and then you will either print that at home, or you can then take it to your local printers and get them to print it for you. We've seen this as A4 and A3 size. I prefer A3 size purely because it's then bigger and larger and easier to see in candlelight, but A4 works as well. I would also suggest printing out a couple of spares in case a child spills their drink on it and gets really heartbroken over that. I would make sure that I've got a family member that's in charge of knowing where they are. Something that you can consider when you are setting up the children's places at the reception tables. They are lovely and bright and colourful and really appealing to the children. They don't always go with your wedding decor, but if you present them in a way that makes it look like it is intended, then it will tie together much better. So you can see the example here. We've used little glass jars. These actually had lids on them. I just took the lids off. I tend to use crayons or color pencils, things that can't do too much damage if they are the type of child to draw on the tablecloth. Let's hope that doesn't happen. I found these sweet little glass jars that actually sat on their side. I think they were originally for sugar cubes or something like that, but I love the way that they actually had a place to sit on their sides. You will see that I've used the same gold ribbon that was used as the table centerpiece and part of the wedding color scheme. So this tied it together really nicely. And I also decided to do one for every single child because the last thing that you want is two children scrapping over the red crayon in the middle of the speeches. So that is my suggestion, is have one pot per child per place. Okay, so the game of squares and boxes is very simple. Each person takes a turn initially to draw a single line anywhere on the grid. You can draw lines vertically or horizontally, and the person who closes the fourth line of the square, essentially closing the box, gets a point. So here, for example, blue has used the fourth line, blue has closed the box, and so it is blue's point. So you can either use it using colors or just use your initials if you've only got one color to share. Blue closes the box, so blue gets the point. Blue is able to go again. Once a player has closed a box with the fourth wall, they are allowed to continue playing until they cannot close a box. So blue goes for that vertical line. Green closes the box. Green gets the point. Green gets to go again. Green closes her second box. Green gets her second point, still in the same turn. Green gets to go again. She plays until she cannot close a box. Over to blue's turn. This will continue until all the dots have been used and all boxes have been closed. You will then tally the scores, and the person with the most boxes wins. How much fun is that? I mean, if it just sent me right back to being a kid when I was creating this. I had so much fun in creating interactive activities and including a range of style of engagement activities. We've got design your own, we've got coloring activities. Everything will draw in a different part of a child. And I also had so much fun putting together the little packs and laying out their places. So I hope you have fun with this one, and I have no doubt that your little guests will be very, very grateful to have such a lovely activity. So the link for this template is down below in the description. I have a couple more kids activities coming your way to keep those little ones occupied, so make sure that you've subscribed if you haven't already. I'm Gigi from Spotted Hat Design, and here we create elegant wedding stationery for the budget savvy bride without the eye-watering price tag.